In this video, guys, I wanted to cover my floor routine as far as what I do for mobility and stretching before training Muay Thai or kickboxing, or honestly any striking. This is probably top 3 for me. This is one of my favorite routines. I had done my standing stretching routine, and several people had asked for the floor routine. This one's a lot easier because, again, I kind of end up on the mats before class anyway, chilling like this. So it just easy for me to kind of go into my routine. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. This is a follow along routine, so feel free to go ahead and follow along. As far as the duration of some of the stretches, you can alter that if you want, sit in them a little longer, or if it's uncomfortable, sit in them a little shorter. So what we want to start in is sitting in this S position here like this, and just sit comfortably. You can post your hand if you need it for balance, but if you can, just sit here, because the first stretch I'm going to start with is here. What tends to happen when you sit in this position is this butt cheek elevates because this hip elevates for comfort. This is why you feel off balance and you feel like you have to post your hand back here. But what you want to do is be able to turn towards this knee and keep this butt cheek on the ground and keep this hip, all this seated. Try not to let it elevate. And if it elevates at first, that's okay. Again, you're working towards getting it down. In doing that, what you can do is kind of work towards being able to turn and put both hands on this shin over here. It won't be comfortable at first, but again, we're working towards these things over time. We're gonna hold this position for a bit. Okay, now we're gonna move to the second position, which is just coming forward like this, okay? You can put your hands down and walk them out, and then stretch just going forward like this. You notice I'm holding these positions about 5 to 10 seconds. Again, do what works for you as far as your comfort. And then of course, as time goes on, if you want to extend the holds longer. Now we move to this side. We're going to get this QL back here. So post your hand for this one, and then you're going to reach. To really get the stretch, if you want to push on this knee, and push, because the key is to push this knee away, and you get a good stretch here, and then of course you stretch your QL in the back. So reach or push on this knee and get a really good stretch. You can also put your elbow down here and sit down more. That's a good one. Feel free to try all of them. You'll find what works. Now, and come back to center, and what you're gonna do is elevate and push your hips out in front of you. Try not to use your hands, but if you have to post on the floor, that's fine at first. But you're gonna come up and drive your hips forward. You're gonna hold this 5 to 10 seconds. Come back down. We're gonna do that 3 to 5 times. I'm going to do 3 today. Again, you're pushing your pelvis forward. You should feel that stretch here really good. All right. Now, we'll start on this back leg, okay? What you want to be able to do is you're going to post your hand on the opposite knee. So it's my left hand to my right knee in this pose here. From here, you need to be able to pick up your heel. Now for me, that's kind of hard. I've been working on this, but some people it's easier. And what you're doing is you're stretching the abductor, which if you've been watching my video series, you understand how important that is for your roundhouse kicks. Do about 5 or 10. I do 5. Try not to lean too much like this. You see, I'm having to lean a little bit, and that's okay. But don't lean all the way over, kind of defeat the purpose. Another way to do this to really increase mobility is to grab the ankle itself and force it upward. Okay? that will help you increase your range of motion and get stronger in that movement. Right now I'm doing both. I'm actually doing the kick up and then doing the assisted. So I do 5 of each of those. From there, what we're gonna do is keep this hand here. And now I want you to rotate your knee up, get your knee pointed straight towards the ceiling. If you can get it further, that's cool, but it's not necessary for this particular stretch. And you're gonna feel that here in your hip flexor, and you wanna get that loose. I tend to feel tighter on my left side than my right. But again, keeping this knee pinned, and my foot is not moving, okay? Keep your foot in the same position and really drive that up. I think that's 3. You wanna get 10 of these. Good. Now we're going to rotate to the other side, and we're going to do that whole sequence all over. Again, keeping this hip and cheek seated, glued to the mat, not letting it elevate. So we're going to turn this way towards this shin. Keep my back straight. I hold these poses for about 10 seconds. Now I'm going to come forward. Now I go this way. Again, reaching as far as I can. If you want, turn your palm open. Push your knee away. If you want to increase this stretch even more, push off the knee and really turn. Or get your forearm to the ground. All of these are helpful. Come back to a forward-facing position. Now I'm going to elevate and push my hips forward. Again, if you need to use your hand, that's okay. If you could do it without using your hand, that's great. Come up. Again, you could do 3 to 5 of these, holding for 10 seconds. I'm going to do 3 today. Driving this hip forward, feeling that stretch here. One more. Okay, now we're gonna go to the next movement, holding this knee here, right hand, left knee, elevate this ankle. Again, try not to lean too much. A little lean's okay. I'm gonna get 5. I really struggle with this one. But I feel it working, I really feel it working. Now I'm gonna do 5 assisted, 2. Ooh, that one's tight today. Oof. Now the last one in this S position. Hold the knee, keep my foot where it's at, and elevate my knee towards the ceiling. Do that 10 times. Now I'm gonna sit in a butterfly seated position. These stretches I covered in one of my other videos, as far as they're good stretches, but they're also great for mobility. Again, what I'm trying to do is work my hip flexors and my abductors in the back here, and people neglect the abductors, but those are so important because it's not so much you're inflexible or you have tight hip flexors, you have tight abductors, and trying to kick and rotate out is kind of hard if your abductors aren't loose or strong. Keep my feet together. If you want to get a little stretch here, that's okay. Straightening my back, coming forward. But ultimately what my goal in this position is, I'm gonna push my knees towards the mat and hold for 10 seconds. Now, I'm gonna try to lift my knees up, but I'm gonna push down with my hands, 10 seconds. I'm gonna do that one more time each. Push my knees down. Keep my back straight. Now, push my knees up, or lift my knees up, but push down on my knees, providing resistance. Now, quick stretch for my hamstrings. Here, straighten one leg. I do this to keep myself at shoulder length and I don't hunch, and I can reach with both hands this way. So I try to push this elbow towards my toes while reaching my hand. I'm gonna do the other side. Again, squaring up my shoulders and reaching to the opposite shoulder helps with that. Again, pushing my elbow towards my toes. Hamstrings are a little tight today. Now this is the last part of the stretch routine. So go as wide as you're comfortable. You don't have to be as wide as possible to do this. And what we're doing is a pancake. So you can kind of rest in this position for a little bit just to kind of get a good stretch. Point your toes down. If you want, push behind you to kind of straighten your back. And you can feel that again, stretch. This hits your hamstrings as well and your quads and everything else. And really pushing forward. Now for the pancake, what you want to do, I've covered this in a previous video as well. This is a great stretch again for your hip flexor and specifically for your abductor. I turn my toes, everything. What the pancake is I want to get all of this flat. Of course, I'm not gonna be able to do that, but I'm trying. So I found it easier to start with my toes. I turn my toes inward and then everything starts to turn inward. Try not to bow your back. Try to keep your back straight. So here, and then turn everything downward. I like to hold this one for 10 to 30 seconds. Now, I open up a little more now that I've kind of like gotten my body used to that stretch. I open my feet a little more and I turn again and get another one. I do this maybe 2 or 3 times. I think open up a little bit. And that's the routine, guys. As you can tell, maybe you can tell, I'm sweating. When you stretch hard and good, it's a workout. It actually does cause you to breathe a little heavier and to sweat a little bit. So it is warming you up. So it is a good warm up as well. Not all those positions were stretches. Some of them were mobility drills. So you're getting some stretching and mobility to get ready for your training session. Give it a shot, guys. It takes anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long you're holding those stretches. I love that routine. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's top 3 for me. It's one of the top 3 routines I do. I do that at least a couple times a week. Honestly, probably more. I hope it helps. It has really increased the mobility when it comes to my kicks. And it has helped me feel looser and stronger in general while training. So I've really come to love that routine. And it's a bunch of things I've shown in other videos, but I've linked them all together into that full routine so that I can get all those different drills and stretches in. So try it out and I hope it helps. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. If you are, please be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.